Hi, ThatPaulGuy, and today I'm taking a look at this. This is, I guess you could call it maybe a budget 4K video camera. It's not nearly top of the line. It's not a Sony or anything like that, or a brand name. In fact, the brand name that is listed on it is AiTechny. And you can find very, very similar items to this on Amazon, right about in the same price range, but they come packaged with different things. The reason why I bought it is because I needed something. Right now I'm using a camera that it's a decent camera, but it only records in 1080p at 30 frames per second. Well, I need something a little bit more than that, and also I need another camera because if that one for some reason fails, I don't really have a suitable backup for it. It does make things more difficult trying to render. When I'm trying to do my editing and rendering, it takes a long time because it has its own proprietary format that the editing software does pick up. I'm using Shotcut. Shotcut does pick it up, but it takes a lot longer. Whereas one of the advantages of this one we'll cover a little bit is that it actually records video in MP4 format, which if anybody does any editing, vlogging, or anything of that nature, you know that MP4 is much, much easier to use because videos typically, that's a standard video format. So if it's already in that format, you don't have to do a lot of compression. You don't have to do a lot of any kind of scaling or any of that nature, and it works out a lot better. Anyway, so we're going to cover a couple things. Like I said, the brand name that's actually on it, and it's not even on the camera itself. It's on, I believe it was on the boom mic, which I've got in front of me, or I've got beside me, but it's on a couple other things, but it's not actually on the camera itself. It just says 4K, and the actual picture taking is 48 megapixel. It does take video in 4K at 24 frames per second. It takes it in 2K basically, or what would scale to 1440p if you're a gamer. It records that in 30 frames per second. It does record in 1080p at 60 frames per second, and the video does look pretty decent. It does come, this one in particular, came with a carrying case that has several accessories in it, including a microphone, an LED light, extra battery, all the cables that I need. It does not come with a separate battery charger, but pretty much everything else I needed except for 4 AA batteries for the LED light and an SD card. So if you're looking at some of these and you want to start right away, maybe look for something that's at least got generic batteries for a light kit if you're getting it, and especially look for something that's got an SD card. I have SD cards, I wasn't worried about it. So I knew what I was getting into when I got it. It does take pretty good video. I will say that the video does look pretty decent, especially with a little bit of tweaking and a little bit of adjusting. It does take pretty decent video. I was pretty pleased with that. You can use it as a webcam. I don't know if I was pleasantly surprised. At first I wasn't really, I don't know if I think I was impressed at all until I went and I swapped back to look at the other webcam I was using, which is very, very poor and only is in a 4:3 format instead of 16:9. So as far as webcam, it worked out pretty well. It does have Wi-Fi. If I chose to use my phone as say remote or a separate viewing screen, I can do that. I can set it up for it. I didn't go through all of that. I started to, and then I got sidetracked on something and never got back to it. I apologize. If I do that, I'll leave it in the comments below. It does use night shot, not pictured here, but of course I did check it out a little bit to make sure that it does record fairly decent at night, and it does. And a couple other things that good and bad, and overall not a bad camera. The still photos also look pretty decent, and when I zoom in on them with a little bit of adjustment, you can see that it goes from a little bit blurry to less blurry and a little bit better detail, but the pictures themselves look pretty solid. The pros. What is good about this camera? What did I like about the camera? Well, first of all, I did like that it came with separate carrying case for the camera itself, and then a larger carrying case for all the accessories. I did like all the accessories that did come with it. An LED light, and I'm not going to flash it at the camera, but I will turn it on. And that has 2 different settings. It's got a little bit lighter setting and a little bit darker setting. It just turns on, just leaves off one bank of the LED lights themselves. Along with the carrying case and all, it does come, like I said, with all the cables that you would need. It comes with extra lenses. It comes with basically a macro type lens. It comes with a larger wide angle type lens. And so there's a variety of lenses. It does not have a shutter cover. That's not on there. The SD card is pretty easy to get to. It's up underneath So right there underneath where the battery compartment is. Batteries are easy to take on or pull off and take on, and it will charge while it's actually on. So pretty decent, overall, a pretty decent deal. Some of the cons. Okay, when I noticed when I first took it out of the case, and it came boxed up really well and everything with everything together, it's got a little bit of a kind of a cheap plastic type feel to it. Like it's not it's not full. It's I don't know, like it's almost like it's not put together very well. I don't know how best to describe it, but it feels a little bit kind of cheap plasticky, and you can kind of hear that a little bit. Another thing I didn't like about it is when I flip out the screen, it does come on pretty much right away. I didn't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is when I turn the screen around, which it does do, and I'm glad it does, it turns it into basically a selfie mode. So if I was holding a camera there taking a selfie, I'd be looking at a reverse screen. This does the same thing. It does it the right aspect when I'm shooting normally, but when I turn that screen around, it flips it. I don't know why it flips it. What purpose does that serve? Are people that used to doing selfies that that's what they need? I don't know. That kind of befuddles me a little bit. One of the other things I didn't care for a whole lot was the light itself, the LED light. The LED light has a little push button on the back of it, which is fine. But if it's in the cloth bag that they send inside the case and something gets jostled around and hits that button, guess what? You don't know that thing is on because it's in a closed case. And it might stay on there for hours, or it might stay on there for 10 minutes, or it might stay on there for until the next time you come back and find out your batteries are dead. So didn't care for that too much. I would much rather had a little slide switch on there that I could control. What I've done to combat that is when I store it, I take one of the batteries out and throw that in the bag with it. Do I like it? For the price, yeah. I kind of knew what I was getting into because I'd looked at several different models, and Amazon has a slew of them. There are quite a bit. You can look at something in the mid 150 range that comes with some accessories, and it looks like it's a different type of camera model, again, with several different names on it. You can get something in about the 250 range that comes with different accessories, including whether it has light kit or not a light kit, whether it comes with extra batteries or not extra batteries, it comes with an SD card, etc. Those types of things. So, or even just a separate charger for the batteries themselves. So it really, you got to kind of look, and you step it up again, and you about the 350 to 379 range. Again, you're probably looking at just a little bit better on the frame rate of some of the resolutions and a few more accessories. So, but still with a generic name. So knowing what I was getting into, I like it just fine. Would I buy it again? What I might do, honestly, knowing what I know now, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the buy. And if I wanted something brand new, I probably would, especially if I was on some kind of a budget and wanted to take decent video. And I even think that if you're just starting out, it's not a bad camera to go with. And one of the cons I failed to mention that I should mention is that it doesn't quite fit on my tripod straight. There's a little bit of an angle, and I'll kind of show a video of that, or I'll show a clip from a video of that, where I fought with this thing on the tripod for I don't know how long, trying to work the legs angled and stuff like that to try to get it to shoot a straight video. And you can tell by the blinds, the shape of the blinds, that it was not. But overall, I can adjust, I can figure something out with that, and I'll be using it handheld part of the time, and I'll find something out with the tripod. Maybe I'll get a different tripod. I don't know. Would I buy it again? Going back to would I buy it again? Yeah, I probably would, but I think I might honestly save up a little bit extra money and buy something used on eBay. Maybe try to go for a Sony or something like that and get a little bit better quality camera used instead of trying to buy something brand new. In fact, that might be the next step I take, is save up a little bit of money and buy something, see if I can't get something for $500 or $600 used as opposed to buying it brand new. But like I said, this is probably a good starter for somebody. Where can you find it? It's all over Amazon. And matter of fact, that's about the only place I could find it was on Amazon. They had several different models and several different price ranges. The brand names will all vary. The camera models, even though I was looking at different brand names, the pictures of the cameras looked the same. And when I got the camera and it looked the same as the picture on Amazon, I thought, you know what? And like I said, there's not even a brand name that's on the camera itself. So it's probably just different parts of Amazon or different contracts or whoever basically making the same camera or getting a sourced camera from the same place, putting their own flair on it, their own accessories in it or whatever, and sending it through Amazon through a channel that way. So I'll leave a link for the one I bought. It's not an affiliate link, so you don't have to worry about any kind of kickback or anything or me trying to push it. But I just want to make you aware that there are some budget 4K cameras out there, especially if you're trying to get into vlogging or getting into maybe doing a YouTube channel and you're looking for something that you might be able to afford. You can start with something 1080p, you know, for pretty inexpensive, less than 150 bucks. Or you can start stepping up into 4K for probably about the $200, $250 range, which is what I've got here. So that's all I got for right now, folks. I just want to kind of bring that in there, as I've been using it for about a week, a little over a week, and wanted to kind of let you guys know what was going on with it and what I've been using lately. So if things start to look different on the channel, you'll know why. Obviously, I'm recording this on my old camera. It's the old standby, and I know it works very, very well. So anyway, you're welcome to share, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know. I know there's a lot of people out there that might be watching this that either have a camera or have used a camera, or maybe even using their phone. Kind of leave in the comments what you're using. Let me know what you're doing. Are you using a webcam? Are you using a phone? Or do you have a separate camera? Just kind of curious. Anyway, like I said, do all the YouTube things. Subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, share, comment, whatever you like to do. And until, actually, it's going to be tomorrow until I put out It's Thursday. I have some other stuff coming up, but tomorrow is It's Thursday. So that's when I'll see you next.